Venkatesh, can you just share the slides?
Yes, sir. Just a second.
I'll tell you about when we say recent trends in antimicrobial resistance. You may be knowing everything. Sometimes it's important is to re-emphasize. It remains in our brain when we have implement, then it again we want to recall those things. So for recalling purposes, I am giving you this presentation. Next slide, please. When we talk about AMR and antimicrobial resistance, many times we see, well, we feel that my body is resistant to it. No, it is the bacteria, viruses. That's why the word has been used as AMR, not antibiotic. When we use antibiotic, then it is for bacteria. But we have seen so much of antifungal also have been used. And during the COVID, you must have realized so much of antiviral has been used or so much of azithromycin has been used as if it is going to kill bacteria. I do not know how these things have percolated and we use azithromycin. And if you see the aware classification, we'll talk about aware classification later on, but aware azithromycin is a watch group of drug. That watch group of drugs should not be prescribed as a first time. But during this COVID time, we prescribe to each and every 60% of people have themselves taken. And secondly, we also promote it as modern system of medicine. Okay, take azithromycin. I do not know from where it originated, but this is how the antimicrobial resistance developing. So medicine become ineffective and infection become more difficult to treat because they are becoming resistant to all these things. And antibiotic resistance is a natural process also. It is going on in this, but then it is a slow process. When we enter into it, when we misuse, overuse, inappropriate use of antibiotic, they become a resistance. Next slide, please. So how much it is affecting our system? Responsible for 1.7 million global deaths. 1.27 means 12 lakhs of people. And 40 lakhs million deaths is happening if contributing to this. And how much is our our GDP in India is around 7 to 8 GDP, $1 trillion. And $3.4 trillion will be just spent on this AMR. Just think about how much the whole globe will going to be weak economically if this AMR continues. The GDP, which shows the strength of a country, and if that GDP is utilized only for treating AMR, just think about this, what will happen to the whole world, and especially to our countries in South Asian countries where the things are very challenging economically also for us. So very important that we should take it very seriously. I have written the last line is silent pandemic. What that means? By 2050, if the trend continues, this will be 10 million deaths. Means 1 crore people will be dying every year just because of COVID, just because of this AMR. And 70 lakhs people die so far, the statistics shows, because of COVID. So every year that pandemic will be there. We all are witness, all you young people also, we all have read about pandemic in our books, but we have seen COVID as a pandemic happening in a country, in the world, and we have seen how many deaths and what kind of economical and mental harassment it has given us. So just think about this, that in 2050 the trend continues, this will be happening every year. Next, please. Next slide, please. This slide is just to show that how much it is affecting our countries. If you just see South Asian countries, East Asian countries, so the place which we belong to is so much prone to this, and we also know how much we contribute into that by irrational use of antibiotic. So if we see the statistics also, that shows that it is such an alarming situation, especially in this part of the world. Next slide, please. Now, Indian scenario, if we take, it affects because it is spreading. I can't say that because I belong to in India in a better socio-economic fields, I will be not getting this. No, because it is spreading to all. Even if because we have in our houses so many our maid is coming, our other peoples are coming as a help to us, and all these can if somebody has an AMR is a infectious, so it will come to us also. So you can't say that it is only a disease in our country in the richer group in a poor group of people. No, it can happen to anybody. So in 2019 the data which shows is 2 lakhs of around 3 lakhs of people have died because of this. And if we say contribution to this associated with AMR is 10 lakhs of people. So out of 1/3 of the people of the world in 2009, if say see 2.5 is around 25. Out of this, 10 lakhs people are dying in India only. So you can see that what can happen this. And this can, if we see the statistic point of view, 13.1%. And this, if because of AMR, the mortality of infection become 2 to 3 times. And if we see also in our countries, South Asian countries, still infection contribute more than any other disease in these countries. So infection, and out of the infection, AMR, one of the very important contributing factors. And who is contributing? We all must, one of the most important thing is we all clinicians are one of the major cause of spreading AMR. Next, please. This is a very, very important slide to emphasize the importance of AMR and the importance of infection also. You see resistance attributed to only AMR is 3 lakhs, as I said before. Resistance associated with AMR because of other issues, 1 million. Bacterial infection, 1.7 million, and sepsis, 2.9. And sepsis may not be AMR, but infection as such is contributing to deaths. So two things become interlinked here. One is AMR, antimicrobial resistance, and infection control. You can't separate these two out. Whenever we are talking of AMR, we must talk about infection control also. If the infection control is proper, the infection is low, AMR will be low. If infection control is not proper, AMR will be high, deaths will be more. So this slide is a very, very important that around 2 million deaths are just happening because of infection only. And this infection is a preventable thing just by having infection control practices in place. Whether we are in clinic, whether we are in hospital, and for general public, whether they are at home or in their offices. After all, we are carrying this infection and then spreading others. Next, please. Again, all this data is to emphasize that how much the problem is. Under 5, 2 lakhs people, 2 deaths, 2 lakhs death associated with this, and straight away 52,000 deaths in India just because of this. These data is just to emphasize that how much important it is, and it is all preventable. Next, please. This is again how much life. As such, we have reduced our life, or how much it is this. This is Dallas, both associated attributable to bacterial antimicrobial resistance by pathogens. Just see this, how much quality of life we have reduced. This much, about 5 million is contributing to 5 millions of deaths of quality of life. So important. And what are these organisms? These are all there in our place. E. coli, most important, E. coli, Streptococcus, Klebsiella pneumoniae, Staph aureus. They are all in our surroundings. Just having infection control practices in place, these all bacteria can be killed. They will not be there. So there will be no infection at all. So most important thing is our infection control practices. Then comes overuse, misuse, and inappropriate use of antibiotic. When is the last antibiotic molecule came in the world? The discovery of antimicrobial has become very expensive, and we don't have new antimicrobials after 1987. Just think about that. With so much of advancement in scientific field, in medical field, but and so many new equipments have come, so many new drugs have come in diabetes, in hypertension, and so many other diseases. But for for bacteria, these small bugs, which are even not visible to our eye, we are not able to kill that. After 1987, we have no molecules at all. Researches are there, but still we are not able to find it out. Next, please. So I think this have already have answered why AMR is an issue. This is long illnesses, higher chances of death, longer stay in the hospital. So longer stay means more expensive, more people going into low socioeconomy, more people are deprived of because more money is spent on only for these kind of activities. So more they get trapped into economically weaker section. So people have no money to buy other things in their life, and the things are becoming non-treatable. When this becomes non-treatable, so more mortality and more spread of this. Next, please. So what are the actions so far has been done? One of the most important thing is taken as a sustainable development goal. Global antibiotic research and development partnership. What globally it has been done is One Health approach. So it was found that simply treating human being will not be serving a purpose, because they are being used in animals. They are through the animals, through the human beings, they are coming into the environment also. And sometimes in agriculture, they are using this for promotion of the growth, or for their the infection should not comes to the crops also, killing bacteria there also they are using in that. So through the environment, it is coming into the vegetables or into the water. That water we are drinking, and that is becoming a vicious cycle. So this has to be there has to be globally some action plan, and this action plan is One Health approach. That's a very important thing. But at least we should talk about One Health approach. But as you young doctors, let's contribute on what we can do as a doctor, as a budding doctor, and in the society. At least what we can do. And what we can do is a rational use of antimicrobials. And second important thing is infection control. If we do that, I think that will be a final thing. And globally, antimicrobial stewardship program has been launched, has been going on for so many years, but implementation, as I said, the most important thing. How we implement that becomes an important, is a challenge. Next, please. In India, we have AMR surveillance network by ICMR, national program on AMR containment. We started with that. And one of the most important state, which is very effectively coming up on AMR issue, and that state is to which our national president belongs, that is Kerala. They are the first to come out with the national action plan in 2018. And we started our national action plan started in 2017. And 2018, the Kerala was the first one to implement that and implement it very effectively. Then in Delhi also we have done in this containment action plan in Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. But they are picking up. the most important state which is implementing right now effectively is Kerala. Next, please. We have to learn from the Kerala. Next, please. As I said, what is a global? We need to know when it started. 2015, Global Action Plan was made on AMR. When people realized the importance of this, they realized that globally, people realized that so many people are dying. What is the cause? Then they found that AMR is one of the most important issue in the world. And 2015, the Global Action Plan was there. 2017, we have never lagged behind internationally when we come to certain things. I said, we made beautiful documents. And only in the implementation part, we are lacking. And 2017, we also had a very important national action plan. And 2017, the national action plan, we added one more element into that. Besides research, besides infection control, besides stewardship, one more thing we added, that will be the global leader into it. That will globally teach people that how to control IMR. So now this lies on the young shoulder of our JDN, because this is the generation which is going to bring a change. If our Prime Minister has given a challenge to all of us and declared to the world that we will be the global leader in leading this movement, that is the sixth plan of us in our country as well as in the world, then we should be, we means you people, the young generation of young budding doctors of India has to take this pledge that whatever Prime Minister has said during that time, we are going to take that responsibility and spread this movement in the world. First in our country and then to the world, will show that how India can, if they take a challenge, they do it like we have done in COVID. So next, please. There has been a recent recommendation, just I thought I must give you, you all know it, but still DGHS has given us, and this is, I think our IMA has also proposed the same thing. That's why I have written. Hospital has to have a pre-authorization committee like in tumor board we have when we talk about. So same way, at least tumor board is where you decide that what you are going to do about that particular tumor. Same way, we have a aware classification. We'll take another class of yours. We taken with MSN students. Aware is a access, watch, and reserve. At least for watch and reserve, there has to be a pre-authorization for this kind of antibiotic to be used. Implementation of audit on antibiotic usage, development informants of policy to restrict use of mobile, because this again comes to mobile use and all these things. You can say what it has to do with antibiotic resistance. No, it has to do, as I said, you can't delink infection control from antibiotic resistance. If you have to control infection control, then we have to have certain infection control practices in place, and that one of them is mobile phone in patient area and critical, because this mobile phone is being placed and so many places. From there it carries the germs, and we go to different places, and these germs goes, and out in even 20 minutes of time, millions of bacteria is formed as they multiply geometrically. So millions of bacteria are just there in 20 minutes time. So this is very important. Another important thing which DGHS has announced, and we also have recommended, that patient should remove jewelry while on duty, or especially at least in OT, operation theaters. Next. As I said, globally, we have to at least respect our Prime Minister or President, whatever they say, we have to take that also into consideration. The commitment made by our leaders, we must take it forward also. That is what he has approached in Man Ki Baat in 2016. Before our National Action Plan in 2017 was made, he said in Man Ki Baat that we have to tackle this AMR, antimicrobial. Just think about that. not taking into any political consideration, but think about what the Prime Minister of India, not even a health minister, Prime Minister of India has taken this call of AMR. How much important globally this is. Just think about that. Next, please. Challenges. There are always challenges. First and foremost, I said the first challenge is in India, especially, is in implementation. Lack of equitable access to new and existing vaccines for the promotion of prevention. Diagnostics plays a very, very important role. Good labs and plus interpretation of the report. And thirdly, when to give the samples. Telling the patient also how to give the samples for culture, when to give the samples of cultures, how to interpret the culture report, how long the antibiotics to be given, when to de-escalate and when to escalate the antibiotics. Important. When to give the prophylactic antibiotics. Prophylactic antibiotic, the term which is used in the surgery. That also tattoo in a clean surgery. When to give. I have yet to find out any hospital, very few hospitals giving. I go for NABH assessment. They have beautiful policies, but when we look at their antibiotic, this prophylactic antibiotic usage, it is never matches what their policy is saying. And secondly, when they are giving, they even do not know. There's never been mentioned in their notebook. So this becomes useless exercise. Don't do any exercise which you are not convinced. I always tell people, if you're not convinced, don't go through the book. Because you will not be able to implement. First, convince yourself whether this is necessary or not. Take help of others. And when you feel it is a necessity thing, it is not only for the documentation purposes, then use it carefully. So lack of innovation, these are all challenges. Because of that, there is no budget for AMR activities. That's why the new antibiotics are not coming. Next, please. So as I've already told you, 1987, just think about that. 1987, 13 plus 24, it becomes 37 years. For the last 37 years, we do not have any new molecules. We have to preserve what is there with us. So again, important message, preserve your antibiotics which you have, use it carefully, use it rationally. If we use it rationally, bacteria will not be able, otherwise these bacteria which are small little organism which we can't see even our eyes, they're not even having a complete biological cell, but they are smart enough to do away with this antibiotic which we are giving. If we are not smart, they are much smarter than us. We with multicellular organism which we are, that single cell can make our life miserable. Think about that. Next, please. So what AMR is doing, what IMA is doing. I am very happy to know you are spread out in 27 states. I will not talk about AMR. I will talk about JDN. What JDN can do? It can do a lot. The presence is there in 27 states, and more states you are going to have it in future, because I see such dynamic people in that. It is to so it has to a good position. We are in a good position to support. At IMA level, we are there to give you knowledge, give you help, hand holding, but it is you who have to create that movement for that. What exactly what we are doing is, next slide, please. I'll elaborate more on that. Next slide, please. One important thing which we are trying to do is formation of NAM. NAM is national. We have taken a leadership role on AMR. And we have taken a leadership role because of all of you. That yes, we will bring IMA, Indian Medical Association, with so many other associations, will bring a change. We will be leading that movement, and that will be forming a NAM. National Alliance of Medical Professionals Against AMR. And I call upon all of you, my young friends, please give your names on that. We will try to place you in different committees so that you create that movement. Workshop on AMS, which we are doing on antimicrobial stewardship and infection control practices. We have two works. We have the WHO has been kind enough to support us for two workshops. One such workshop is planned on 7th of July. We are selecting because we can't have more than 50 people. I would like to have you from people who are interested. Please give your names. In either of two workshops, one will be in July, other one will be in August. Will either of in either of these two will like to accommodate you in that, but we want leaders in that who are committed so that they spread this message. Only then the movement can be created. 1 into 2, 2 into 3. As the bacteria multiplies into 1 is to 2, 2 is to 4, 4 is to 8. Similarly, I want we should also divide in our knowledge as 1 is to 2, 2 is to 4 is to 8. We multiply in that fashion. Only then we can make this bacteria not to do what they are doing today. So AMR, another project which we have taken is IMA AMR Smart Hospital. 12 hospital, but we will justify, they have to justify they are working on this. Will not have just a certificate kind of thing distributing to everybody whosoever says. Venkatesh and my team, Minakshi and other people in the AMR standing committee, Dinesh and other people who are there in the standing committee, they have worked hard to make a checklist on AMR Smart Hospital project. And we will be very objective in our analysis, giving this AMR Smart Hospital project. But for that also we will need some young hands with us who can do an audit. We will train you all, but we need some workforce also for that. And I also appeal to all of you, those who are interested, please come forward, give your name so that we can make you a AMR champion. And through that, we will spread this message of IMA AMR Smart Hospital. To start with, we'll select first 8 to 10 or 12 hospitals, and then we take it further. Then development of training material and regular IEC activities. We are spreading these materials to all of you in the form of some standing and other things. Please spread these messages which which IMA standing committee is sending to you. Please spread these messages to other people also, and particularly to the community also. Next, please. And I will like you, please. I will speak out on as our Dr. Abul Hassan, our chairman, has said, he has taken that pledge in MSN meeting. Today, I think I will recite, I will Venkatesh, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
And Jyoti, the convener of this. I will request both of you, please recite, and everybody will be speaking the same thing as we have taken the pledge in the MSN meeting. So please.
Yes, sir. Jyoti ma'am, can I start? I mean,
Yes.
like, shall we start?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I realize that everyone please unmute and please repeat the pledge.
So everybody should unmute.
Okay, sir.
Yes, start. Dr. Jyoti and Dr. Venkatesh, start please.
I realize that
I realize
that
antimicrobial resistance
antimicrobial resistance
is a public health priority
is a
is a
public
public health
priority
priority
at a global level
and for medical professionals.
and for
As a
medical
dedicated
professionals.
practitioner of modern medicine,
As
a
a
as a dedicated practitioner of modern medicine,
medicine,
I commit
I commit
to uphold the sanctity of my profession
to uphold the
uphold
sanctity
the
of my profession
by prescribing antimicrobials judiciously
by prescribing
prescribing antimicrobials judiciously
with integrity and care,
with integrity and care,
and with each prescription,
and
with each prescription.
I commit to assess thoroughly
I commit to attend the
process the
ensuring antimicrobials are used
ensuring
antimicrobials
antimicrobials are used
only when truly necessary.
only
when truly necessary.
I commit to balance the benefits and risks
I commit to
Balance the benefits and
benefits
risks.
considering patient health
considering patient
Yes,
as well as public safety.
as well as public safety.
safety.
I commit to choose antimicrobials wisely,
I commit to choose
Antimicrobials wisely,
guided by evidence,
guided by evidence,
stewardship principles,
stewardship
principles,
and the specific needs of my patients.
and the specific needs of my patient.
patients.
I commit to defend against antimicrobial resistance,
I commit to defend
Against the antimicrobial resistance,
preserving the power of antibiotics
preserving the power of antibiotics
for future generations.
for future generations.
Together, let our actions contribute
Together,
Let us actions contribute
to the health and happiness of all,
to the health
and happiness of all,
free from the shadow of AMR.
free
free from the shadow of AMR.
Long live IMA.
Long live IMA.
Thank you so much. You all have done this, and it has really have a enthusiastic, I think, response to everybody that we all can do things. Next slide, please. So our recent engagement, that's what we have shown. Now we will have this picture also, that all your JDN office will have taken an oath, and you will also spread this oath to all other people in the world, in your organization. Next, please. Next slide. So, role of junior doctors, what we expect from you. I will not say junior, the young doctors. Please don't use this word junior. Nobody is junior in this. Everybody is a very competent person here. The only thing is you are young, energetic. So I want to utilize that from you. Adheres to guidelines for antibiotic prescribing to minimize the misuse and overuse. Please use infection prevention measures in yourself while working. The same way, spread this message also. Participate in the antimicrobial stewardship program. We will contribute. We will send all these information to you whenever required, and anything you can we'll try to create something in the IMA website also. Conduct and support research that are I can't assure you at present how much support we can give on the research, because that depends upon the resources, but we will ask the government for help on this kind of things. If you have certain proposals, we'll be with you in exploring those from where we can get the fundings. Educate patient and the community. That is what we all can do. So we always have a habit that we always blame government, but I always feel blame whatever it is required to the government, but at the same time, whatever I can contribute, at least I should do that. I can contribute in terms of infection practices. I can contribute in my practice that I should not use irrationally antibiotics. Only that much if I use, that will create a lot of difference. Next, please. So nominate, as you said in the beginning, what we expect from you. Nominate one JDN coordinator from each state for AMR. Like you have 27 states and other things for coordinator. Few JDN members we will please give your names who are leaders who want to be leading this movement. I just do not want people who attend this workshop just because of their knowledge gain. I want those people only in this workshop that they are passionate, because we can't have so many workshops. It needs funding. It needs a lot of groundwork. Each of this conference will cost us around 12 to 15 lakhs of rupees. Your accommodation, your traveling, all those things. When we are having one-to-one workshop on site, then it costs you 10 to 12 lakhs. So I want people who are passionate, who want to contribute and who want to change other people's mind also, and who will teach others also that what is AMR, how we can do whatever they have learned, they are able to practice and they are able to propagate this knowledge to others also. That's the most important thing. When we are having, we will see the how people who are coming for that workshop. So regular dissemination of awareness, even posters, official, you can have posters. Please send us also whatever you feel like. We will spread that also. We want a two-way interaction with JDN, especially. You send us your posters and the things. We will spread that message. Or any proposal which you have, we will like to have with you, interaction with you. Next, please. Next, please. So, in the end, only I can say, together, this is a war. Whenever we say pandemic, COVID has happened, we know how much havoc COVID has raised, not only in terms of deaths, but mentally also. We are so disturbed. Even our doctors, so many lives have been done. Same way, this is with AMR. This, as I said, is a slow pandemic happening. By 2050, it will be full blown if we do not take precautions. COVID, we were all unprepared. It came just out of blue. But today we know this is a pandemic which is going to happen. If we do not prepare ourselves now, then I think nothing can, God can only save us, then we can say that. But I know with you people, young people, we'll change this. So together, we'll all bring a change. Thank you so much for giving me the time and opportunity to talk to you. Thank you, the leadership of JDN. Thank you, Dr. Abul Hassan, for this. Thank you, Indranil. Thank you so much. I just add on that,
Yes,
Venkatesh is doing a wonderful job. He is taking it passionately and wonderfully contributing for this cause. Thank you so much, all the JDN, and especially to Venkatesh for giving time to this project. Thank you.